Welcome to our podcast, Anything is Podable.
I'm Hunter Strait.
I'm Jack Patton.
I'm Gage Sherwood.
And I'm Carson Hawk. And today we will be diving into how AI is shaping 4 key sectors: agriculture, healthcare, education, and the military. Along the way, we'll be interviewing 2 special guests that are specialized in their field.
First, we'll be talking about AI in agriculture. How do you guys think AI has affected agriculture?
I think it's had a significant impact because, when somebody goes from constantly having to drive the tractor and remember where they planted, now they can just click a button and, it'll just take you where you need to go. It's far from the next
I feel like
row.
you have to know way less than you did before.
Yeah, and
You don't have to be as qualified.
it's scary in some ways.
Yeah. With machine learning, you just have to click a button, and the tractor will do it itself, or you can fly drones and have it fertilize.
Yeah, neural networks goes along with that. It's an algorithm. It basically does everything for you. It reads all the stuff that's going on around you.
Yeah, it just knows every little bit of your life.
Yeah, basically.
What do you got to say about this, Hunter?
Do you trust AI with the food Americans consume?
I think to a certain degree, because, what if that, AI ran machine accidentally sprays the wrong thing on my potato, and now when I eat my potato, it's going to be rotten and possibly kill me. But at the same time,
With AI, I feel like you're telling it what to do. So if it messes something up, I feel like it partly is your fault.
yeah.
And to be fair, you're not even seeing that process with farmers either. It's just kind of like in the shadows.
You don't really know what's going on
Yeah.
with AI in general.
And that's some of the scary part of it. You don't even know what has been growing your crops or what you're consuming. You don't even know what kind of brains is behind this, because it could not be a real person.
Yeah.
So even if AI increases crop production by 1,000%, but it takes away 1 million people's jobs, do you think it's right?
No, I don't think so. Because we're still producing a good amount of crops right now that we are, without AI. So I don't think we should take the jobs of 1 million Americans just to produce more crops. I think we're doing just fine right now.
The economic side of that would be terrible. The unemployment rate. That'd be, yeah.
We do see a lot of farmers in Indiana too.
Yeah.
A lot of farmland.
I feel like at the same time, if you're using that much AI, there's going to be plenty of jobs open for AI, but the people that are losing their jobs to AI aren't going to go work.
In this scenario, is it all farmers losing their job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could go and work. But who would be making that money from
Not necessarily farmers, but farmers workers.
farmers workers?
So the farmers would still be,
They just wouldn't be working as much.
they just wouldn't be paying as many people.
Yeah, and be getting paid way more for
A
less.
singular person, yeah.
But they would also have to pay for, all the machinery that goes into it,
Yeah.
you got to pay for all that self-drive tractors that plant your crops perfectly.
And that can be pretty expensive because you can have a lot of malfunctions when it comes to that sort of stuff too.
And tractors themselves are expensive.
Yeah, with AI, once you put it into tractors and farming, everything gets way more expensive.
Yeah.
Because it's already expensive. And you're putting AI into it, it's going to get triple the price.
Yeah, say AI starts, but the more AI workers we have, the cheaper AI will be, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you guys think that'll increase the price of food that they're growing since they have to pay for more?
I'd say so.
I would say so.
Yeah, they're not going to sell, if they're paying, at the beginning of this process, if say this does happen, they're making more crop, but it's got so much more expensive at the beginning because you pay this one price for it until so I feel like they're not going to sell their product for this cheap if they're paying this much, because it'll take longer to pay off. I feel like they'll just wait until the price goes up and sell it, and then boom, there's one tractor paid for. Next season there's another tractor paid for, and then in 8 seasons it's pure profit. I feel like that's the way farmers would do it.
I do also feel like it would give the farmers more time to like do other things, like be with family, because farming is very, very busy.
Yeah. But also there is another way to think about it. Without the prices going up, they just get more produced with AI. So they make more money in return.
I definitely think it'd be better for the older folks, like the older
Yeah.
farmers, because
Yeah,
they
definitely.
sometimes they can't get out and do as much as they used to, and that like
More forward.
shortens their income. So
Yeah.
I feel like it could definitely benefit their older.
But also if you're an older farmer, most older people don't think, oh, I want to put AI in my tractor, and even if they do, most of them are going to have to hire somebody to teach them how to do it, because they grew up when heck you barely had a home phone,
Yeah.
so most of them don't know how to. But there's a job for somebody, go around and teach farmers how to use this.
Yeah. I think it can bring more jobs and take away some. Just depends how you look at it.
We're going to be talking about artificial intelligence in the classroom with our principal, Mrs. Lakes. How do you feel about AI as a whole?
I think it can be a very useful tool, but I think before we dive in, we need to look at some protocol of how we're going to use it, because I think ignoring it isn't going to serve us well. But if we brainstorm what are some appropriate uses and what are the inappropriate uses, and we educate kids on how to use it, it can be a really helpful tool.
How do you feel like AI can affect the students' deep learning, whether it will make them not learn as much because they're looking stuff up, or whether they'll actually use it to research and further their deep learning?
I think that's where it comes back to the protocol. If we set the protocol up and we have a procedure that is acceptable use, it can be a benefit because it saves time. If we're using it where it is doing all of the thinking for the kids, then it's going to damage us. And I'm afraid we're going to become a society of non-thinkers because we don't have, we're not thinking about things. And we already turn to Google way too much. We don't use our brains as much as we need to, and I'm really afraid what that's going to look like for us in the future if we are constantly using AI.
Yeah, I think it's making kids lazier, them not doing their work, so they just don't have to.
Right.
Just put into AI.
Well, and even, there's all those commercials out there right now for AI where the guy's like, this idea needs some zhuzhing.
Yeah.
And then it sends this glorious email, and that guy still isn't any more professional than he was before. So there's no accountability for his behavior or his, professional communication, and that's still going to be a really important skill. So I took a survey recently where I was asked my opinion on, those, say 5 if you highly agree, and 0 if you completely disagree. And there was a series of 10 questions, and then at the end it had an open-ended response. And AI generated my response for me based on how I answered those other questions. And it didn't say anything that I would have wanted it to say. So that wasn't good, because then I felt like how many people would have just let it AI generate, and then as the people giving the survey, they're not getting a real picture of what people are thinking. They're not getting good feedback that they can use.
How do you feel about AI in the classroom?
I think it can be very, very helpful. But again, I'm going to say, this is like the 6th time I've said this, there has to be a process for how we are using it. Teachers can use it to help generate, writing prompts or problem sets for math, so that they're not spending a ton of their time outside of school putting things together. I know we have a math teacher who used it to create a quiz for her, and she just said, I want it to cover these standards, I want this many problems at this level of difficulty, and it created a quiz for her that would have taken her hours to do. Then she proofread it to make sure it was something that her students could do. That's a huge time saver. That would be great. If a teacher wants to put up, model text and say, write a short story on this topic, and it writes it, and then the class edits it, or the class goes through and does words. That could be really helpful. It does open up a realm of possibilities. But if you have an essay due on how AI affects the universe and you type it into ChatGPT, you learned nothing. So that's not an acceptable use.
Yeah, and where do you think it'll be in the future? Say like the next 5 to 10 years.
I'm really afraid it's gonna be everywhere and no one's gonna think for themselves.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Everybody's gonna be brain dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and we're just gonna do everything for us.
It's way too easy to access. You can just, like anywhere, your phone, Chromebook, laptop,
Right.
anything. Just
Everything's
type
got it
it,
for
a
free.
question for
Everyone
free, and
knows
it'll
where
just
to go.
Yep.
yeah.
And I can see more use in your professional life, but if you don't have good writing skills, you can't even proofread what it does write for you to see if it's even good. And sometimes it's not. So I think that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid it's gonna take over and we're gonna become a society of non-thinkers, which is not good.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the ChatGPT algorithm? Because you just type something in, it's gonna give you the answer right away, and
Right.
you don't have to do anything. You just copy and paste it into whatever you're doing.
Right, I think if you're using it to research, give me 6 sources that have this in it, that could be a huge time saver. But if it's putting the words together for you,
Yeah.
pulling out what it thinks is important in your, for your research, that's not teaching you guys how to use good writing skills.
I
And
know.
then when you're in a situation where, you have to go into a secure test browser and type an essay, which you're going to have to do at some point in your life. Why is that timer so short? You're not gonna be set up for that. So those of you who are going to college and you have to go take an exam and you have to write a written response, if you've never done it before because ChatGPT has done it and you're in a secure test browser where you can't access anything else, there's no way.
Yeah, I know, we did an English essay last 9 weeks, and I typed in ideas I had, and it kind of brainstormed for me, and I use it kind of just to, get the title and what I was gonna write about. But I could so easily just, type in, make a story about this, that's 3
Make it
pages
sound
long.
like a high school wrote it,
And-
and it'll do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could have completely learned nothing from the assignment by letting it do that, and hope that she doesn't notice you cut and pasted it into a doc. That's the beauty about Google Docs, though, is you can look and see,
Yeah.
did they type it themselves, or did you cut and paste? So
Another thing with the test is, it locks your screen, and then it also, my sister's in college, and when she takes tests, you have to have your camera on.
yes,
So if you look away from the screen, they just automatically think you're cheating.
right. And sometimes they also make you put your phone behind you on a shelf where they can see the phone the entire time while you're on there, just to make sure you're not accessing it. So that Abby has to do that in college as well. And when I took my exam to get my superintendent's license, I had to do that. I took it in my office by myself, but I had to put my phone, prop it up on the bookshelf behind me so that it could be visible, and the door had to be visible in my camera the whole time so that I couldn't access anything.
All right, well.
We appreciate you coming on.
Questions?
I hope you do well on your project.
Next, we're going to be talking about AI in the medical field. Do you feel comfortable with AI?
I don't think I feel 100% comfortable with AI in the medical field, because now with the natural language process, doctors when they're in college, they can type this into AI and it'll give them if you ask them to prepare a speech, it'll give them a speech that sounds like they wrote it. And now they're not learning about something where if they're doing brain surgery, they're like, oh, I cheated through this in college. Now how am I gonna do this and it could actually kill somebody? And also with all the medicines, I know when you tell AI to do something, it does what you tell them. But also if you accidentally tell them the wrong thing and then it does the wrong thing 1,000 times quicker than you could do it one time, how then how much money are you spending and how many people are you affecting by just accidentally telling it to do the wrong thing.
I think it'll be good to find new cures to
Yeah. Yeah.
different things.
Yeah, there's definitely a good side.
Like
to
you
it.
said, you tied it with college. That is one thing that scares me. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
AI just cheat through the medical field or medical college.
Yeah.
I think the generative AI could like help with like X-rays and stuff. It's going to produce images for like the X-ray professionals that
Yeah.
work in radiology and everything. I think that could help a lot with that. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I mean, if you're like, you have open heart surgery, one little move, that guy's dead. Like,
Yeah, especially if they have, I feel like it will be a good thing to, if you can prove that this machine, this AI is 100% accurate 100% of the time, then I feel like it would be safer almost to have that performing surgeries. Like start with small surgeries, like say somebody like breaks their arm, and even you can start with like donated bodies that are already passed away. You can start by just breaking their arm and then having this machine, perform a surgery and try to fix it. And if, one little thing messes up, you restart with the whole thing, you rebuild it. Because one little mess up in a brain surgery could be a life.
Do you guys think there will be machines later in the future working on you during surgery?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure there will, but
I feel like, I don't know about on me, but I feel like in the future there will definitely be
Yeah,
machines working on you.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
feel
like-
a need, really. I mean, I've never really had a bad interaction with like a doctor or a surgeon.
But we have it now. But also AI, like we were talking about with college, you don't know. if
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
gonna know all
Yeah,
this
most of
stuff.
the doctors now didn't have all that back in college.
I
Like, they
think-
could have cheated, but they couldn't type into AI, write me a 15-page essay on how brain surgery works.
Yeah.
And then, you copy and paste it, and it's like nobody ever knows. You can make it like a college level student. You can type that kind of stuff in there, and it's scary.
I feel like where AI should start, like if it were to go into the medical field, I feel like it should start like the pharmacy. Get all the
Yeah.
medicine like produced together and like sorted out
Yeah.
and everything.
I feel like AI is definitely already a little bit into the medical field. We just don't know how really. I feel like they have to be able, like,
Figuring out what is
there's
cures.
somebody's job has to be incorporating AI into the medical field, because that would just be smart. If you could figure it out, then you have to pay less people, and again, like,
Yeah, less people. Do you think AI will take jobs in the medical field?
I think it will. And I don't think that's
I also
good,
think it
but-
will, like I was saying about the pharmacies. Like I think it could take some of the pharmaceutical companies and everything like that.
Which right now, I think there's a very low amount of doctors and nurses. So I feel like if they can do that and they're still low, just replace what they need with this instead of replacing people with this. I think that would be a good thing. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
I think it will, but healthcare is it's such a popular occupation. I mean, I feel like a lot of people that they're going into healthcare, and that's gonna.
It's a well-paid job.
It's a well-paid
very
job.
needed.
I think it will take some jobs, maybe a small amount, but I think it'll create a lot more than it.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah, AI is gonna create millions of jobs for sure.
Finally, we are going to be talking about AI in the military.
We talked to ex-military Jerry Ingalls on this subject, and he says he is not totally for it or totally against it. He thinks that when it comes down to protecting himself, it is very useful. What do you guys think about this?
I think
Do you agree with his opinion?
I kind of agree with his opinion for sure. But I personally, I'm not in the military obviously, but I don't think we should use AI as much as a lot of people think we should.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a website, they said, Popular Mechanics, they said militaries are rushing to replace human soldiers with AI-powered robots. What do you think about that?
I don't think that is. I mean, those military those robots could just do anything at any time. I feel like I realize like if they're gonna do that, they have so much like control over it. But if they're rushing to do it, one little mistake, and that thing could do something really bad.
I agree that they can't rush.
Yeah, I feel like they should definitely ease their way into it. Kind of like give it like test runs instead of just like jumping right into it. For sure.
Which I think that's what they'll do, but also it is like the AI race. But I don't know.
You got to be like efficient about it too, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, not too slow, but definitely not too fast.
For sure.
Also, according to Henrik Sommer, director at Systematic and Brigadier General Military, should not aim for most advanced artificial intelligence algorithms to help them in their tasks. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I don't think they should aim for the most advanced artificial intelligence. I think they should use like the most advanced, human possible, because I feel like they have more experience than that. And artificial intelligence doesn't really know what they're doing, I guess. They're just like jumping right into it.
Yeah, I feel like they need to start off slow for sure. They don't just need to shoot for the most advanced AI. I think they should start off with, something that just like, something easy and doesn't kill people, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely killing people. That's definitely not a good thing. What do you got to say?
According to Rakuta Satoni, Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine has already showcased how AI is shaping military strategies and national security. I mean, I feel like it can definitely be a lot more useful, but like in the actual field, I don't think it would.
I think it'll save some lives. It'll definitely save some lives. You get them out there, but then also you got to think about them turning around on us.
I definitely feel like it would be better for national security than sending them into battle personally, because like if you send them into battle and like they obviously have to return if they survive, if they return and then they have them like instincts or whatever to fight, and then they might start fighting us. So I feel like if we program them to like national security for like to secure us, I feel like they're programmed to do that. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so this will cost a lot of money. Like somebody, like he just said, or like according to T Connectivity, the military puts $557 million into AI. So this will definitely cost a lot.
yeah.
And we're basically trading lives for money. So I think this necessarily isn't a bad trade.
And we sent like billions of dollars to Ukraine anyway, so why not use it on us?
Yeah.
Use a lot of money on us anyway.
That was pretty stupid though, we did
No,
that.
that was pretty
That's a lot of money.
I do feel like that's not as much money as I thought it would be. I feel like it would have been easily in the billions, but at the same time, I mean, what are we using this for?
And yeah, exactly. We haven't seen anything that we've used this money on. We just
I feel like it's more algorithm type based stuff. It's not really, you're not into the full robot fighting stuff yet.
it's robot fighting time.
That's where it gets expensive once you get in all that.
But yeah, you hear about it, but you don't see anything,
Yeah.
We might not. We probably will, but might not.
Yeah, and one of these days we'll probably see a helicopter flying over us and there'll be no people in it. And then it might kill us and it might not.
Yeah.
unpredictable.
That's the life of AI. According to TE Connectivity, military applications of AI include identifying and neutralizing threats, guiding manned and unmanned aircraft and vehicles, gathering intelligence, and preparing for battle. What do you guys think about this?
I definitely think that's very useful for the military for sure, because you gather intelligence on the other, and then like preparing your soldiers for battles and gathering all the advancements and everything. So I definitely think that could help a lot for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like if the military kind of uses this like AG does, like it says it's guiding unmanned and unmanned vehicles and aircrafts.
Yeah.
I feel like, like just like you do in AG, you sit in this tractor, but it's driving itself. I feel like it would be more efficient You know, the guy in the tank or whatever it is could be doing something else to get ready for.
Yeah, we've been talking about error with AI, but I think the room for error is less with AI than it is with human error.
Yeah, I do think this was really good. I mean, if an AI does this for a certain amount of time, they're gonna get so good at it where it's gonna be, you can even compare it to like a human soldier.
Yeah. I think it could be better for sure.
And I think it'll make our human soldiers better when it comes with the training.
Yeah,
Training becomes a lot better.
it would definitely cut down on jobs, but it might honestly open up more opportunities for human soldiers to do other things instead of flying.
In today's day and age, there's more people that want to do like computer jobs than actually go out and, you know, work.
Shoot guns at people.
Yeah.
And I feel like the AI advancements would help them, like people that want to go into computers would help them beneficially for sure.
Definitely. And that's been our sector on military.
That concludes our podcast, Everything is Podable, on 4 sectors of AI.
We'd once again like to thank Mr. Jerry Ingalls and Ms. Renee Lakes for joining us and giving us their views on AI.